When I lost my dad, I was by myself. In Brisbane area, there were a number of larger tanneries and they were starting to close one after the other. I had a dream to be a tanner in Australia. But we were isolated.
Other tanneries were closing. Our family was determined to survive.
But I used to ask myself this question: why can't we do it here?
We looked around the world early on to see who was using kangaroo leather, and we decided that there are many countries, but they were taking the raw material from Australia. Now we wanted to be part of that. Instead of just doing initial work on the leather, we wanted to do the whole and value add.
If I get the best and start using these things, why can't I be competitive with these good tanneries? You had to change. If you're going to survive in this country here, you had to change. You didn't have the wherewithal, so you had to do everything, from setting up, to maintenance, to tanning, to machine work, the whole lot. Because you believe in what he's doing, but you can't do these things yourself, so you've got to find ways to support other people that are more skilled in those areas.
We had to build equipment, we had to build people, we had to build relationships with customers who would believe what we were doing.
I also had some support from outside that encouraged me to look at what was going on in the rest of the world.
We started with one of the Japanese brands, and that was very successful, and that just developed a little bit further. Then we went after the big guys, but we learnt from that. One of the brands was Puma. They were our very first European brand. They would come here to grade the leather, and Lindsay and I would go through every skin before they came. But the problem with their inspectors, they had 5 different types of standards, so nothing was consistent. But you certainly learnt how to go about it. You had to play their game.
See what it means to the South Africans.
You couple that with a certain amount of technical expertise where we can make products that a lot of other tanneries can't. Give them the products that they want, and that often starts with the fact that we've got an idea. Okay, we want to do X. Okay, how do we get to that point? Okay, can your product get us there? And we're willing to go on that journey with them.
Well, we work in a very niche, we're a very niche tannery. All our leathers are specced quite high based on what our customers require.
Lindsay trimming the skins. He will then identify a problem. He will troubleshoot the problem using a team, or he will follow up on his own, working with machines, liaising with maintenance, working with R&D.
I guess Lindsay focused on the little things. He was a stickler for it. Get the little things right, and the big things take care of themselves. So that was constantly pushing for getting better, raising the standard.
In the beginning, I was probably thinking, why did Dad have to drag us out here every Sunday afternoon to turn a drum on, because we didn't have as many staff then? That was probably my first thoughts. Then it was like, oh wow, this is amazing how big it is, what he's done, and he's had to do it all on his own pretty much.
I've certainly learnt the value of a hard day and a good day's work. Lindsay's got a tremendous work ethic, even the age he is now. He sets a tremendous example for everybody that comes into the business.
He manages this business very hands-on. He is always out on the floor, he's always trimming, he's always doing something, he's always explaining something to somebody. If they're not sure or if he sees something, he'll go back and explain it. So he's very hands-on about how he goes about things. So that's his major management skill. Then he tries to direct people in the right way to come up with their own outcome if they're trying to problem solve themselves.
I've learnt many things from my father, but probably the most important thing is that you never do anything by yourself. It's always with a team, and you're always bringing people up with you and doing something together.
Lindsay's a very generous sort of fellow. The fact that he doesn't give up. If he can't do it one way, he'll do it another way. And the fact that he cares so much about his people, the people who work for him. You'll find that a lot of these people have been there with him for years and years. They'd do anything for him.
Lindsay's a different person, but a person that you really want to get to know. He's got many different layers, and if you only know the outer layer of Lindsay, you don't really know him very well. You have to dig a little bit deeper. And he's that sort of person that is working in the background, and you don't really know what's happening. And when you find out what Lindsay has been doing, you're always surprised at what you discover.
Attracted to what they were trying to do with young people, and they were doing it outside the church. It wasn't inside, it was outside the church. Making pancakes and feeding kids, and the other one was giving out red frogs.
Is a dead set Aussie legend, mate. Like, there are pioneers in this country, and he is definitely one of those.
Our father would be the first one to say that, I don't want you to be me, be who you are and be passionate about what you do.
I couldn't have done some of the things without having a lady that supported me.
Be there, talk about things, wash and iron his clothes, have a meal ready, and just be there, Just be there to support. If you love somebody, you just got to support them and do whatever they want to do.
I describe Lindsay as loyal.
A mentor.
He's godly.
He's very determined.
Faith-filled.
Respected.
He has a lot of passion for what he does.
Likes the best.
Now I think Willie's left this huge legacy for us.
They cannot build what Lindsay and I built. They have to do something different.
And what are we going to do with it is the next question we've got, and how are we going to do it to keep it up to the standard that he's made.
We've held on this long. I think we can hold on for another 100 years.
They have to look at the ways, the means, the technology, the digital era is here that we never had.
Lindsay's a pioneer.
Lindsay is an Australian pioneer.
They have the same DNA.
Tanning was and is in our DNA.
His legacy will stay with us.